Welcome back to Daily English Moments. I'm Sarah, and today I'm going to share something very personal from my own learning journey. I'll show you the exact words I use every single day to expand my language skills. These words aren't complicated or difficult, but they are incredibly useful. They're the kind of words you can easily slip into your everyday conversations no matter where you are, and they will help you sound more confident and natural. Now, let me explain why I use these words every day. Your vocabulary is like a muscle. The more you exercise it, the stronger it gets. If you learn a new word but never use it, it will eventually fade from your memory. But if you use a word every day, it becomes a natural part of how you communicate. You don't even have to stop and think about it. That's why I choose specific words and practice them constantly in my conversations, in my writing, and even when I'm just thinking to myself in another language. For example, one word I love to use daily is truly. It's a simple word, but it makes my sentences sound more sincere and authentic. If someone asks me, "Did you enjoy the concert?" I can say, "Yes, I did." But if I say, "Yes, I truly did," it feels more genuine and heartfelt. It adds a little bit of emphasis or deeper emotion. That's why I practice it every day. Let's practice together. Imagine you are with a friend and they ask you, "Do you enjoy cooking?" You can answer with me, "Yes, I truly enjoy it a lot." Let's try again with another situation. Someone says, "Do you live near a large park?" You reply, "Yes, I truly live near a beautiful green space." Notice how this one small word adds richness to the answer. Another word I use every day is perhaps. It's a very practical word because life is full of uncertainty. Sometimes you don't want to give a definite yes or no. Perhaps is the perfect word for that. For example, if a friend asks, "Are you free this weekend?" and you're not sure yet, you can say, "Perhaps, I'll let you know." It keeps the conversation gentle and polite. Practice with me. Say this sentence, "Perhaps I will watch a film later." Good. Now, try another. "Perhaps we can visit the market this week." Every time you say, "perhaps," you are practicing how to be more nuanced in English without sounding too rigid or too formal. Another word I use daily is since. It's a connecting word, but it's so powerful. It allows you to explain your thoughts, your reasons, your feelings. Without it, your sentences can feel incomplete. For example, if someone asks, "Why are you learning Spanish?" and you only reply, "I want to," that's okay, but it feels unfinished. If you say, "I'm learning Spanish since I want to travel and experience new cultures," your answer feels complete, clear, and confident. Let's practice. Repeat after me. I'm practicing English since I want to improve my career. Now, another example. I'm reading this book since I enjoy stories in English. Using since encourages you to form longer sentences, and this naturally builds your fluency. Another favorite word of mine is perhaps. This small word is so useful in daily life. It shows possibility and it makes your sentences more gentle. For example, "It will rain" is direct, but "perhaps it will rain" feels more open. "He will come" is a strong statement, but "perhaps he will come" sounds much more natural and less certain. Practice with me now. Say, "Perhaps I will learn some new words today." Good. Another one. "This exercise is perhaps a little difficult for me." Now, let's talk about the word certainly. I use it every single day. If someone asks you, "Can you help me?" you can simply say, "Certainly." It's short, it's polite, and it's natural. It makes you sound confident and cooperative. Practice with me. Someone says, "Can you close the window?" You answer, "Certainly, no problem." Another one. "Can you tell me the time?" and you reply, "Certainly it's 5 o'clock." Using certainly makes your English feel natural in everyday situations. Another word that I use constantly is perhaps, combined with certainly. For example, if someone says, "Do you like this series?" you can say, "Yes, I'm perhaps not certain it's great, but I'm enjoying it." This shows both caution and a positive emotion at the same time. Next, let's practice with occasionally. This is a word I love because it describes real life. Not everything happens always and not everything never happens. Occasionally is the balance in between. For example, occasionally I feel tired after work. Occasionally I study Spanish at night. It makes your English sound realistic and honest. Now practice with me. Say, occasionally I listen to French music. Again, occasionally I forget new words. When you practice with this word, you train your brain to talk about real situations, not just black and white answers. Another essential word I use is likely. It's polite and it helps you express possibility. If someone asks, "Will you come to the party?" you can say, "Likely yes," or "I'll likely be there." It makes you sound natural. Not too direct, not too uncertain, just balanced. Practice now. Repeat, "I'll likely go to the market later." Again, "It will likely be sunny tomorrow." Using likely gives your sentences a softer, more realistic tone. Let me share another word I love. Already. This word shows that something happened before now. For example, "I already finished my homework," or "I already watched that film." It gives a sense of time and makes your sentence sound complete. Practice together. Say, "I already learned this word." Now, "I already ate lunch." Notice how this word makes your sentences stronger by adding time information. And finally for this section, I want to share the word perhaps one more time but in a different way. Sometimes I use it not to show possibility but to start a question. If someone says, "I started a new job," you can reply, "Perhaps you could tell me more?" It shows interest, curiosity, and it keeps the conversation going. Practice this with me. Imagine a friend says, "I bought a new computer." You reply, "Perhaps you could show it to me?" Another one, "I traveled last week." You say, "Perhaps you could tell me where you went?" This simple word keeps the conversation alive and natural. So you see, just by practicing and using words like perhaps, since, certainly, occasionally, likely, and already, you can grow your vocabulary naturally every day. The secret is not to memorize long lists of difficult words, but to take small, useful words and repeat them in your daily conversations until they feel natural to you. Now, let's move on to another set of words that I use every day and I recommend that you use them too. These are the kind of words that make your sentences flow naturally and they help you connect your thoughts in a smooth way. One of my favorite phrases is, "Frankly, I believe." For example, "Frankly, I believe this is a good idea." This structure is so natural in conversation. People use it all the time when they want to share their opinion in a polite and thoughtful way. Let's practice this together. Repeat after me, "Frankly, I believe this lesson is useful." Good. Again, "Frankly, I believe English is easier when I practice every day." Notice how the combination feels like a real conversation. Not too strong, not too weak, just natural. Another very common phrase that I use daily is, "possibly later." Life is busy, and sometimes you cannot say yes immediately. Instead of just saying no, which can feel too direct, you can say, "possibly later." For example, if someone says, "Do you want to go out now?" you can reply, "Possibly later. I need to finish my work first." It keeps the conversation friendly and open. Practice with me. Say, possibly later I'll call you. Another, possibly later we can watch a movie. This little phrase is perfect for daily life situations, and I use it all the time. The next phrase I use often is, by the way. This is not just a phrase, but a tool that works like magic in conversations. It helps you change the topic smoothly or add extra information. For example, you might be talking about a project and then you remember something. So you say, by the way, did you finish your presentation? It feels natural and it connects ideas without breaking the conversation. Let's practice. Repeat after me. By the way, I wanted to ask you something. Good. Another one. By the way, have you seen my keys? You see how easy it is to use and how it makes conversations flow. Another daily use word is truly, especially when combined with questions. For example, if someone says, I got a new job, you can respond with, truly? That's fantastic. It's short, but it shows interest and makes the other person feel heard. This is something I always use in my conversations because it makes me sound more friendly and engaged. Practice with me. Imagine someone says, I'm going on vacation. You reply, truly? Where are you going? Another one, someone says, I started learning French. You say, truly? That's cool. These little responses are powerful in building a connection with people. Another word that I find myself using daily is so, not just as a connector, but as an intensifier. For example, I'm so happy to see you. This food is so delicious. The movie was so interesting. The word so makes your feelings stronger and more colorful. Practice with me. Say, I'm so excited to learn English today. Again, this exercise is so helpful. Using so in this way will make your English sound alive and full of emotion. Now, let's talk about completely good versus so good. These are two small expressions I use daily, and they both add power to your English. For example, the weather is completely good today, or the weather is so good today. Both sound natural, but they give a slightly different flavor. Let's practice both. Say, this lesson is completely good. Now, this lesson is so good. Notice how they feel in your mouth, how natural they are when spoken out loud. Another word I use often is, of course. It's polite, friendly, and shows confidence. If someone asks, can you help me? You can reply, of course. If someone says, can you explain this to me? You can say, of course, I'd be happy to. It feels supportive and welcoming. Practice now. Say, of course I will help you. Again, of course, I enjoy learning new words. You can use this every day in so many situations. Now, let's explore the word well. This is such a flexible word, and I use it daily. At the beginning of a sentence, it gives you time to think. For example, if someone asks, what do you want to eat? You can start by saying, well, perhaps I want pizza, or, well, I'm not sure yet. It buys you time and makes you sound natural. Practice with me. Say, well, I think I need more practice. Another, well, perhaps I'll do it tomorrow. You'll notice how it softens your sentences and makes you sound more relaxed. Another everyday phrase is, you know. People use it to make conversation feel lighter and more connected. For example, it's completely hot today, you know, or, learning a new language takes time, you know. It's like adding a friendly touch to your words. Practice this, say, it's not easy, you know. Again, this is fun, you know. It creates a more natural rhythm in your speaking. Now, let's practice with, I suppose. This is a word I use to show uncertainty in a soft way. For example, I suppose I'll go to the park later, or, I suppose he is not coming. It's polite and it shows you are not 100% sure, but you are making a guess. Practice together. Say, I suppose I need more vocabulary practice. Another, I suppose we'll see what happens. Using this daily will give you more comfort in conversations when you don't want to sound too direct. Another word I use is kind of. This phrase helps you show something that is not exact. For example, I'm kind of tired, or this book is kind of interesting. It softens your statement and makes it sound casual. Practice now. Say, I'm kind of busy today. Another, I'm kind of hungry. You'll see how natural it feels when you say it. And finally, let's look at the phrase, a little bit. I use this every day when I want to make something sound smaller or lighter. For example, I'm a little bit tired, or I was a little bit late. It's polite and soft, and it's very common in real English conversations. Practice with me. Say, I'm a little bit nervous. Now, I'm a little bit excited. Notice how it makes your sentences sound natural and less strong. The first word I always use is first. This word helps connect actions in a sequence. For example, I can say, I woke up first, and then I had breakfast, and then I went to work. It makes my sentences flow and helps the listener follow my story. Let's practice with first. Repeat after me, I'll study English first, then I'll watch a movie. Another one, I'll call my friend first, then I'll go to sleep. You see how simple this is, but how useful it becomes in daily life. Another daily word is next. This is another way to connect actions in time. For example, I went shopping and next, I cooked dinner. It helps organize your thoughts clearly. Practice now. Say, I'll finish my homework. Next, I'll play a game. Another, I'll read this article. Next, I'll write a summary. Using next helps you explain your day step by step. Another common word I use all the time is before. It's so simple but very useful. For example, I brushed my teeth before I went to bed. Or, I called my mom before I started cooking. It gives structure to your story and shows order. Let's practice with me. Say, I washed my hands before eating. Another one, I stretched before exercising. Practicing with before makes your speaking clearer because you can explain what happened first. Now the opposite word is after. I use this every day when I want to explain something that happened later. For example, after lunch, I went for a walk, or I cleaned the kitchen after cooking. It's very natural in daily conversation. Practice with me. Say, after school, I met my friend. Another, I'll take a shower after the gym. Simple but powerful. Another word I use is typically. This is one of my favorite daily words because it describes habits. For example, I typically wake up early, or I typically drink coffee in the morning. It tells people about your routine. Practice this now. Say, I typically practice English at night. Another, I typically take the bus to work. This is perfect for describing your normal daily activities. Along with typically, I also use always. For example, I always check my phone in the morning, or I always brush my teeth before bed. It shows something that happens 100% of the time. Practice with me. Say, I always try to learn new English words. Another, I always listen to music when I cook. Now, let's balance it with never. This is the opposite of always, and I use it when something does not happen at all. For example, I never smoke, or I never drink soda. It's strong, but it's very useful in daily conversations. Practice now. Say, I never forget to practice English. Another, I never skip breakfast. This helps you practice both grammar and natural rhythm in English. Another favorite daily use word is sometimes. I know we practiced it earlier, but I want to return to it because I use it constantly in different ways. For example, sometimes I cook, sometimes I eat out, or sometimes I feel lazy, sometimes I feel active. It gives balance and makes your sentences sound realistic. Let's practice together. Say, sometimes I study in the morning. Sometimes I study at night. Again, sometimes I forget words, sometimes I remember them easily. This is exactly how real conversations sound. Another phrase I love using is simultaneously. For example, I was listening to music and reading simultaneously, or I was working and drinking coffee simultaneously. It shows actions happening together. Practice this. Say, I was watching TV and eating simultaneously. Another, I can laugh and learn simultaneously. Using this phrase daily helps you explain multitasking naturally. Now, let's talk about right now. This phrase is something I use every day when I want to emphasize the present moment. For example, I'm busy right now, or I'm studying English right now. It's powerful because it brings attention to the current action. Practice with me. Say, I'm listening right now. Again, I'm learning English right now. You can feel how strong and focused this phrase is. Another word that I use often is already, combined with time. For example, I already finished my homework, or I already cleaned my room. We practiced it earlier, but I want to show you how often it comes up in daily speech. Practice now. Say, I already ate dinner. Another, I already watched that show. The more you practice it, the more natural it feels. Now let's practice with yet. This is another common daily word when asking or answering questions. For example, have you finished yet? Or, I haven't done it yet. It's short, simple, and very common. Practice with me. Say, I haven't studied yet. Another, I haven't eaten yet. Try asking, have you started yet? This is exactly how people use it daily. Another phrase I use often is, for a while. For example, I've been waiting for a while, or I stayed there for a while. It's useful when you want to show a short or medium period of time. Practice this. Say, I studied for a while. Another, I rested for a while. This helps you sound more natural when talking about time. Finally, for this section, let's practice in the morning, in the afternoon, and in the evening. These are very common phrases that I use daily because they help me describe my day clearly. For example, I go jogging in the morning, or I read books in the evening. Practice now. Say, I drink coffee in the morning. Another, I relax in the evening. These are such simple, useful phrases that I recommend you practice them every day. So in this part, we practiced words and phrases that describe time in order: first, next, before, after, typically, always, never, sometimes, simultaneously, right now, already, yet, for a while, and in the morning/afternoon/evening. Describing feelings and emotions. One of my favorite words is joyful. It's simple, but I use it every single day. I'm joyful to see you. I'm joyful it's the weekend. I'm joyful because I learned something new. Joy is something small or big, and the word joyful is always useful. Practice with me now. Say, I'm joyful to be here. Another one, I'm joyful to learn new words. The more you repeat it, the more natural it feels. Another word I use all the time is enthusiastic. This is stronger than joyful. It shows that you are full of energy and looking forward to something. For example, I'm enthusiastic about my upcoming trip, or I'm enthusiastic to start this new lesson. Let's practice together. Say, I'm enthusiastic to learn English today. Again, I'm enthusiastic to practice speaking. Notice how this word brings energy to your voice. Now, let's balance this with the word weary. I use this almost daily because it's true. After work, after studying, after a long day, I say, I'm weary. It's natural and honest. Practice with me. Say, I'm weary after school. Another, I feel weary in the evening. Using this word helps you talk about your real life. Another daily emotion word is uninspired. When something is not interesting, I say, I'm uninspired. For example, I'm uninspired by this TV show, or I feel uninspired when I have nothing to do. Practice now. Say, I'm uninspired when I don't study. Another, I feel uninspired on weekends sometimes. This is exactly how people talk in everyday life. Now, let's use captivated. This is the opposite of uninspired. For example, I'm captivated by learning English, or I'm captivated by cooking. It's useful for hobbies, studies, and conversations. Practice with me. Say, I'm captivated by books. Another, I'm captivated by traveling. When you use this word often, you can share your passions easily. Another common daily word is famished. I use it every single day because we all need food. For example, I'm famished. Let's eat. Or, I'm truly famished after work. Practice with me now. Say, I'm famished in the morning. Another, I feel famished before dinner. Simple, useful, and natural. Along with famished comes parched. Another word I use every day. For example, I'm parched, I need some water. Or, I feel parched after running. Practice this, say, I'm parched right now. Another, I'm parched in the afternoon. These words are easy, but they're exactly what you need for daily life. Another emotional word I use is concerned. This is very common because in life we often think about problems. For example, I'm concerned about my exam, or I'm concerned because I'm late. Practice with me. Say, I'm concerned about my homework. Another, I feel concerned when I forget words. This is realistic and very useful. Now, let's practice with calm. This is the opposite of concerned. For example, I feel calm on the weekend, or I'm calm when I listen to music. Say with me, I feel calm after practicing English. Another, I'm calm in the evening. Notice how it feels tranquil and positive. Another word I use every day is occupied. Life is busy, and this word comes naturally in daily conversation. For example, I'm occupied with work, or I'm occupied right now. Can we talk later? Practice now. Say, I'm occupied today. Another, I'm occupied with my studies. You'll use this word many times every day. Another word is available. Not just about money but about time. For example, I'm available this afternoon. Or, are you available tomorrow? This is so common in daily life when making plans. Practice with me. Say, I am available after lunch. Another, I'm available this weekend. Simple, natural, and important. Now, let's use the word positive with feelings. For example, I feel positive today. Or, that sounds positive. This is an all-purpose phrase, and I use it constantly. Practice together. Say, I feel positive about learning English. Another, that's positive news. You'll hear and use this phrase daily. Another emotional word I love using is unfavorable. Life isn't always perfect, and we need this word to express negative feelings. For example, I feel unfavorable about being late, or that movie was unfavorable. Practice now. Say, I feel unfavorable when I don't practice. Another, the weather is unfavorable today. It's a simple but honest word. Now, let's combine words to make emotional phrases stronger. For example, truly joyful, very weary, a little uninspired, so enthusiastic. These combinations make your English more colorful. Practice with me. Say, I'm truly joyful to be here. Another, I'm very weary after work. Again, I'm a little uninspired this afternoon. And, I'm so enthusiastic for tomorrow. Using these combinations daily will make your English feel more expressive. Another useful phrase is, not especially. For example, if someone asks, are you famished? You can say, not especially. Or, do you like this show? And you reply, not especially. It's polite and soft, and I use it all the time. Practice this, say, do you want to study now? Not especially. Another, are you uninspired? Not especially. You'll see how common and useful this phrase is. Now, let's use the word, all right. This is one of the most common words in English, and I use it every single day. For example, all right, let's start. Or, are you ready? All right. It's short, flexible, and friendly. Practice with me. Say, all right, I'll do it. Another, all right, I understand. This word is everywhere in daily conversations. Finally, let's practice with satisfactory. This is often used to answer, how are you? For example, I'm satisfactory, thank you. But also in other ways. That's satisfactory. Or, it's satisfactory with me. It's common, polite, and useful. Practice this now. Say, I'm satisfactory, thank you. Another, that's satisfactory. And one more, it's satisfactory. Don't worry. You'll use this word many times a day. So in this part, we practiced many words for feelings and emotions: joyful, enthusiastic, weary, uninspired, captivated, famished, parched, concerned, calm, occupied, available, positive, unfavorable, truly joyful, very weary, a little uninspired, so enthusiastic, not especially, all right, and satisfactory. These are the true building blocks of daily conversation, and using them daily will help you sound natural and fluent. Expressing quantity and frequency. Another group of words that I find myself using every single day are the ones that help me describe quantity and frequency. These words are simple, but they give more detail to my sentences and make my English sound more complete. One of the first words in this group is a great deal. I use it all the time. For example, I drink a great deal of water, or I watch a great deal of movies. It's such a flexible phrase that can describe many things: time, energy, people, objects. Let's practice with me. Say, I study English a great deal. Another one, I read a great deal of books. Notice how natural it sounds and how it makes your sentences longer and clearer. Another everyday word is numerous. This is very useful when talking about countable things. For example, I have numerous friends, or there are numerous cars on the street. It's simple, but very common. Practice now. Say, I know numerous English words. Another, I have numerous questions. This word will appear again and again in your daily life. Next is plenty. I use it every day when I talk about items that can't be counted individually. For example, I don't have plenty of time, or I don't drink plenty of milk. It's very important to use correctly. Practice with me. Say, I don't have plenty of chores today. Another, I don't need plenty of assistance. Another daily phrase is, a couple. This means a small number. For example, I have a couple of companions in this town, or I purchased a couple of pears. I use this all the time when I don't want to say many, but also not 0. Practice together. Say, I have a couple of moments. Another, I made a couple of errors. You can see how soft and natural it feels. Along with a couple, I also use a bit of. This is very common with nouns that can't be counted individually. For example, I need a bit of support, or I have a bit of money. It makes your sentences polite and natural. Practice now. Say, I need a bit of water. Another, I have a bit of time to study. It's short and very useful in daily life. Another quantity word I use is sufficient. This is so important because in life we often talk about having the right amount. For example, I have sufficient funds, or I didn't get sufficient rest. I use it constantly. Practice with me. Say, I have sufficient time. Another, I don't eat sufficient greens. Notice how this word helps you be clear and realistic. Another word I use often is too much or too many. For example, there are too many people here, or I consumed too much food. It shows that the amount is more than needed, and I use it often in conversations about daily life. Practice now. Say, I spend too much time on my device. Another, I bought too many items. This is exactly how you'll hear people talk in real life. Now let's practice with some. This is such a common word that I use every day without thinking. For example, I need some liquid, or I have some inquiries. It's polite and flexible. Repeat after me. Say, I want some tea. Another, I need some help. This is one of the most natural words in English conversations. The opposite of some is any. And I use this word daily, especially in questions and negatives. For example, do you have any currency? I don't have any friends here. Are there any peaches? Practice this with me. Say, do you have any time? Another, I don't need any assistance. You will use this word constantly in your daily speaking. Now let's move to frequency words. The first one is always. We practiced it earlier, but it's worth repeating because I use it every day. I always check my messages in the morning. I always brush my teeth. These are common habits. Practice now. Say, I always practice my language skills. Another, I always drink water after exercise. The opposite is never. And again, I use it daily. I never use tobacco. I never drink coffee in the evening. It's powerful and simple. Say with me, I never forget to practice. Another, I never skip the morning meal. Another frequency word I use is sometimes. We practiced it before, but I repeat it every day in different ways. Sometimes I feel exhausted. Sometimes I visit the park. Practice this. Say, sometimes I read novels at night. Another, sometimes I listen to musical pieces. Another very common word is often. For example, I often go to the market, or I often talk to my companions. It's softer than always, but more than sometimes. Practice with me. Say, I often study language skills after dinner. Another, I often walk in the green space. The opposite is seldom. I use this when something almost never happens. For example, I seldom eat processed meals, or I seldom watch television. It's very useful when you want to sound precise. Practice together. Say, I seldom go out late. Another, I seldom forget my assignments. And one more is, usually. We saw this before too, but I cannot stop using it every single day. I usually wake up early. I usually drink coffee. Say with me, I usually practice language skills in the evening. Another, I usually call my family on weekends. Finally, let's combine these words into longer practice sentences. I usually study in the morning, but sometimes I study at noon. I drink a lot of water, but I seldom drink soda. I have a couple of friends and I talk to them often. Repeat after me slowly. I don't have plenty of time, but I have sufficient energy. Another, I bought too many garments, and I spent too much money. Combining these words gives your language a natural flow. So, in this section we practiced many words about quantity and frequency. A lot, many, plenty, a couple, a bit of, sufficient, too much, too many, some, any, always, never, sometimes, often, seldom, and usually. These are simple but powerful words that I use every day, and you can too. Now, let's focus on another set of words that I use every single day. These are words that help me connect my thoughts, give explanations, and make my language flow naturally. One word I cannot live without is due to. We touched on it earlier, but it deserves more practice. It is such a powerful connector and I use it constantly. For example, I'm studying English due to a desire to travel. I'm learning new words due to their ability to help me sound natural. Let's practice together. Say, I'm practicing language skills due to a desire to speak fluently. Another, I'm listening carefully due to a desire to understand. This word makes your sentences longer and fuller. Another common connector I use is therefore. This word shows a result. For example, I was tired, therefore I went to bed early. It was raining, therefore I stayed at home. I use it every day because it connects causes and effects so smoothly. Practice with me now. Say, I was hungry, therefore I made a sandwich. Another, I want to improve, therefore I practice every day. You'll notice how natural it feels when you put it into your daily speech. Another word I use daily is, however. This is such a simple word, but it makes my sentences real because life is full of contrasts. For example, I wanted to go out, however it was raining. Or, I'm tired, however I still need to finish my work. Practice now. Say, I studied hard, however I still made errors. Another, I was nervous, however I spoke anyway. The word however keeps your sentences natural and realistic. Another word I often use is and. We might think it's too basic, but I use it all the time to connect ideas. For example, I bought pears and oranges. I studied grammar and practiced speaking. It's short, simple but very powerful. Practice together. Say, I read and listened at the same time. Another, I studied and improved quickly. You'll see that even the most basic words are important when used daily. Now, let's practice with if. This is one of my favorite daily words because it allows me to talk about possibilities. For example, if it rains, I'll stay home. Or, if I practice, I will improve. I use this word constantly. Say with me, if I study every day, I'll get better. Another, if I forget, please remind me. The word if helps you imagine and plan. Another word I use daily is when. This word helps me talk about time and conditions. For example, I smile when I'm happy, or I study when I have free time. Practice with me. Say, I drink tea when I'm tired. Another, I feel relaxed when I listen to tunes. This word makes your sentences smoother and more complete. Another phrase I use constantly is, despite the fact that. For example, despite the fact that I was tired, I finished my homework. Or, despite the fact that it was raining, I went outside. This shows contrast and determination. Practice now. Say, despite the fact that I was nervous, I spoke the language. Another, despite the fact that I didn't know all the words, I tried. You can see how this phrase makes your language sound deeper and more real. Another daily use connector is, so that. For example, I study every day so that I can improve, or I wrote it down so that I wouldn't forget. It gives a purpose to your sentence. Practice with me. Say, I speak slowly so that others can understand. Another, I listen carefully so that I don't miss anything. Now let's practice with although. This is very similar to despite the fact that. For example, although it was late, I kept studying. Or, although I was busy, I made time to read. Say with me, although I was tired, I smiled. Another, although I didn't know everything, I tried. It's a word I use daily because life often has two sides. Another useful connector is while. I use this every day when I describe actions happening at the same time. For example, I listened to music while cooking, or I studied while drinking coffee. Practice together. Say, I walked while talking on the phone. Another, I smiled while thinking of my companions. This word makes your language more natural and flowing. Another phrase I use constantly is, as soon as. For example, I'll call you as soon as I arrive, or I'll study as soon as I finish. It shows quick action and is very common in daily speech. Practice now. Say, I'll start as soon as I wake up. Another, I'll reply as soon as I can. This phrase is part of my everyday speaking. Now let's look at in case. This phrase is very useful in daily life when talking about preparation. For example, take an umbrella in case it rains, or write it down in case you forget. Practice this with me. Say, bring water in case you feel thirsty. Another, take notes in case the instructor speaks fast. It's polite, useful, and natural. Another phrase I use often is, as if. For example, he looked at me as if I was crazy, or she spoke as if she knew everything. It's a fun way to describe situations. Practice with me. Say, he smiled as if he won the contest. Another, she walked as if she was exhausted. You'll notice how expressive this phrase is. Finally, let's practice so far. This is a phrase I use every day when talking about progress. For example, so far, I've learned 10 new words, or so far, everything is good. It's very natural. Say with me, so far I've studied every day. Another, so far, this lesson is helpful. It's a small phrase, but very powerful in daily life. So in this section, we practice connectors and sentence-building words, due to, therefore, however, and, if, when, despite the fact that, so that, although, while, as soon as, in case, as if, and so far. These are the true glue of the language. The words that hold conversations together and make them flow. Now, let's look at another group of words that I use every single day. Words for giving opinions, making conversation natural, and showing agreement or disagreement. These are the words that help us sound confident when speaking with others. One word I use daily is, I believe. It's simple, but so useful. For example, I believe this lesson is helpful. Part 3 of 3. Rewritten script. It's a common word you'll use daily. Now let's practice get up. For example, I get up at 7 o'clock, or I get up late on Sunday. Say with me, I get up early every day. Another, I get up when the sun rises. This is exactly how people talk about their routines. Another word I use every day is work. For example, I work from Monday to Friday. I work diligently to improve my skills. Say, I work on my language skills every day. Another, I work at a company. This is a must-have word for your daily English. Now, let's use study. For example, I study English. I study history. I study in the library. Say with me, I study every night. Another, I study with my friends. This word is always present in a learner's life. Another important daily word is learn. For example, I learn new words. I learn from my errors. Practice this. I learn something new every day. Another, I learn by listening carefully. This word is key to growth. Now let's try watch. For example, I watch television. I watch a movie. I watch the news. Say with me, I watch English videos. Another, I watch birds in the park. It's a very common verb. Along with watch, I also use listen. For example, I listen to music. I listen to my teacher. I listen to podcasts. Say, I listen to English every day. Another, I listen to my friends carefully. Listening is part of daily communication. Another verb I use daily is talk. For example, I talk to my friend. I talk on the phone. Say with me, I talk in English with my classmates. Another, I talk to my parents in the evening. Very natural and common. Now let's practice speak. For example, I speak English. I speak with my teacher. I speak in class. Say now, I speak slowly when I learn. Another, I speak with confidence. This is a daily use word you need often. Another very common word is say. For example, I say hello. I say thank you. I say good night. Practice with me. I say good morning to my family. Another, I say thank you to my teacher. Short but very powerful. And let's not forget ask. For example, I ask a question. I ask for help. I ask the time. Say, I ask questions in English. Another, I ask my friend about homework. This is a natural part of conversations. So in this section we practiced action and routine words go, come, make, do, get, take, have, eat, drink, sleep, get up, work, study, learn, watch, listen, talk, speak, say, and ask. These are everyday words that you'll use hundreds of times to describe your life and your activities. Part 4 of 6. Rewritten script, the descriptive words. Now, let's move to another group of words that I use every single day. Words that help me describe people, objects, and qualities. These are the words that bring more detail into my sentences and allow me to express my thoughts more clearly. One of the most common words I use is big. It's simple, but it appears all the time in daily conversations. For example, that's a big house. I saw a big dog. It's a big problem. This word is so flexible. Practice with me now. Say, I have a big dream. Another, this is a big city. Notice how often this word can be used. The opposite is small. I use it every day too. For example, I live in a small apartment. That's a small mistake. She has small hands. Say with me, I bought a small bag. Another, it's a small world. This is one of those words that is always useful. Another pair of words I use all the time are long and short. For example, it's a long day. He has long hair. Or, this is a short story. The class was short. Practice together. Say, I had a long walk today. Another, it was a short break. These words help describe time, objects, and experiences. Now, let's use good again. We've practiced it before, but I want to expand on it because I use it constantly. This food is good. That idea is good. I had a good day. It's one of the most common words in English. Say this with me. This lesson is good. Another, I feel good today. Such a small word but so important. The opposite is bad. I use this every day too, especially to describe experiences. The weather is bad. That's a bad idea. I had a bad day. Practice with me. This movie is bad. Another, I feel bad when I don't practice. These are very natural sentences. Another word I love using is nice. It's a positive word that fits into many situations. For example, she is a nice person. That's a nice dress. It's a nice day. Say, it's nice to meet you. Another, this is a nice place. You'll hear this word often in real life. Now, let's use great. This word makes your English sound more enthusiastic. That's a great idea. We had a great time. It's a great opportunity. Say with me, this is a great lesson. Another, you did a great job. This word is full of positive energy. Another useful word is interesting. I use it every day when I find something that catches my attention. For example, this book is interesting. That show was interesting. It's an interesting story. Practice now. This lesson is interesting. Another. He told me an interesting fact. This word helps you express curiosity. On the other hand, I use boring when something is not exciting. For example, this movie is boring. That class was boring. The game is boring. Say with me, the lesson was boring. Another, I feel bored because the show is boring. It's a very common daily word. Another pair of words I use are easy and difficult. For example, this exercise is easy. It's easy to use, or the test was difficult. It's difficult to understand. Practice with me. Speaking English is easy when I practice. Another, sometimes grammar is difficult. These are words that help you describe your learning experience. Another useful pair are fast and slow. For example, the car is fast. She speaks fast. Or, the turtle is slow. The internet is slow. Say, I walk fast. Another, I speak slowly when I practice. These are simple but important daily use words. Now, let's practice with hot and cold. These words appear every day, especially when talking about food, drinks, or weather. The soup is hot. It's hot outside. Or, the water is cold. It's cold today. Say with me, I drink hot tea. Another, I like cold juice. These are some of the most practical words in daily life. Another common word is beautiful. I use this word every day when describing people, places, or things. For example, she is beautiful. The park is beautiful. That was a beautiful moment. Practice now. The flowers are beautiful. Another. It's a beautiful day. This word adds positivity to your speech. The opposite is unpleasant. It's less positive, but it's common in conversations. For example, that painting is unpleasant. The weather is unpleasant today. Say this. The building is unpleasant. Another. That shirt looks unpleasant. It's an honest word people use daily. Another word I use constantly is new. For example, I bought a new phone. She has a new job. It's a new idea. Say, I'm learning new words. Another, this is a new place for me. This is a daily use word for everyone. The opposite is old. For example, that's an old book. He is an old man. I have an old phone. Practice now. This car is old. Another, I wear old clothes at home. It's simple but useful. Another word I use often is young. For example, she is young. They are young students. It's very common when talking about age. Say with me. He looks young. Another, she is young and smart. The opposite is old again, but when used for people, it refers to age. For example, he is an old man. My grandmother is old. Practice together. My teacher is old. Another, that man is old. You'll notice how often it appears. Another important word is tall. For example, he is tall. That building is tall. It's a daily descriptive word. Say, my brother is tall. Another, the tower is tall. The opposite is short. For example, she is short. The road is short. Practice with me. The boy is short. Another, it was a short walk. These are practical and useful. Now let's use strong and weak. For example, he is strong. This coffee is strong. Or, I feel weak. The signal is weak. Say with me, I want to be strong. Another, my internet is weak. These are very common daily words. Finally, let's practice with clean and dirty. For example, the room is clean. My clothes are clean. Or, the floor is dirty. The shoes are dirty. Say this, I keep my desk clean. Another, my shoes are dirty after walking outside. You'll use these words every day. So in this section, we practice descriptive words big, small, long, short, good, bad, nice, great, interesting, boring, easy, difficult, fast, slow, hot, cold, beautiful, unpleasant, new, old, young, tall, short, strong, weak, clean, and dirty. These are words I use every single day because they allow me to describe the world around me clearly. Part 5 of 6. Rewritten script, the time words. Now, let's move to another set of words that I use every single day. Words that help me describe time, schedules, and daily activities. These are words that come up again and again when you talk about your day. One of the most useful words is today. I say this word every day because it describes the present day. For example, I have a meeting today. Today is a good day. I learned many things today. Practice with me. Say, today I'm learning English. Another, I feel happy today. You'll notice how natural it sounds. Another important word is yesterday. For example, I went shopping yesterday. Yesterday was a long day. I studied English yesterday. Say with me, I called my friend yesterday. Another, yesterday I felt tired. This word is very common when talking about the past. The opposite is tomorrow. I use it every day when I make plans. For example, I'll meet you tomorrow. Tomorrow is another day. I'll start tomorrow. Practice now. Say, I will practice more tomorrow. Another, tomorrow I will get up early. This word keeps conversations moving toward the future. Now let's practice with morning. For example, I get up in the morning. I drink coffee every morning. Morning is quiet. Say this. I study English in the morning. Another, I go jogging in the morning. Morning is one of the most common times we describe. Along with morning, I use afternoon. For example, I take a walk in the afternoon. The meeting is in the afternoon. Say, I usually rest in the afternoon. Another, I study in the afternoon sometimes. This word helps you organize your day. Next is evening. For example, I read books in the evening. We have dinner in the evening. Say with me, I practice English in the evening. Another, I watch television in the evening. Evening is always part of our daily schedule. Another very common word is night. For example, good night. I sleep at night. The city looks beautiful at night. Say, I study at night sometimes. Another, I relax at night. This is an essential everyday word. Now, let's practice always again, but this time in daily routines. For example, I always brush my teeth at night. I always check my phone in the morning. Say, I always get up early. Another, I always study English at night. This shows your habits clearly. Another important word is never. For example, I never skip breakfast. I never sleep late on weekdays. Say this with me. I never forget to practice. Another, I never feel bored when I learn. This is a very useful daily expression. Now let's add early. I use this word often. For example, I get up early. I arrive early to class. The bus came early. Say, I started early today. Another, I like getting up early. It's a natural part of talking about time. The opposite is late. For example, I was late to work. She arrived late. Don't be late. Practice now. Say, I went to bed late. Another, I was late for class. This is something you'll often say in daily conversations. Another daily phrase I use is on time. For example, I arrived on time. The meeting started on time. Say, I try to be on time. Another, he was on time today. This is polite and common. Now let's use soon. For example, see you soon. Dinner will be ready soon. I'll call you soon. Say with me, I'll start soon. Another, we will meet soon. This is a friendly everyday word. Another very common one is later. For example, I'll call you later. We'll talk later. I'll finish my work later. Say, I'll do it later. Another, we'll see later. This is a word you'll use constantly. Now, let's practice now. For example, I'm busy now. Do it now. I'm studying now. Say, I'm learning English now. Another, I can talk now. This word keeps the focus on the present moment. Another important phrase is right now. For example, I'm working right now. I can't talk right now. Say, I'm listening right now. Another, I'm practicing right now. It makes the sentence stronger and clearer. Another time word I use every day is soon after. For example, soon after lunch, I went to the park. I started working soon after arriving. Say with me, I'll start soon after I finish this. Another, he left soon after the meeting. It's very natural. Now let's use once. For example, I went there once. Once I finish, I'll call you. Say, I watched this movie once. Another, once I start, I don't stop. This is a very flexible word. Another common phrase is again. For example, I'll try again. Please say it again. Say, I'll practice again tomorrow. Another, can you explain again? This word is useful in study and daily life. Now let's practice often. For example, I often read books. I often go for a walk. We often talk about English. Say this with me. I often listen to English podcasts. Another, I often meet my friends in the evening. You'll use this word frequently. Finally, let's look at sometimes. I use this every single day because life is not always the same. For example, sometimes I feel tired. Sometimes I take a nap. Sometimes I go shopping. Say, sometimes I practice in the morning. Another, sometimes I listen to music at night. It's one of the most natural frequency words. So in this section we practice time-related words: today, yesterday, tomorrow, morning, afternoon, evening, night, always, never, early, late, on time, soon, later, now, right now, soon after, once, again, often, and sometimes. These are words I use every single day to describe my routines, habits, and plans. The complete story and lesson. We've now gone through so many words together. Words for feelings, for time, for actions, for places, for describing things, for giving opinions, and for making sentences flow. All of these are words that I personally use every single day. And I hope you can see why they are so powerful. The secret to boosting your vocabulary isn't to only chase after difficult or rare words. The real growth comes from using simple, natural, everyday words again and again until they feel automatic in your mouth and in your mind. When you use words like really, due to, maybe, sometimes, already, today, tomorrow, interesting, clean, beautiful, or tired every day, you create a strong foundation that supports all of your language learning. Think about it this way. A tall building is built on strong bricks at the bottom. Those bricks aren't fancy, but without them, the building could not stand. Your vocabulary is the same. These small daily use words are your bricks. The more you repeat them, the stronger your language becomes. Now I want you to imagine yourself in a simple daily situation. Maybe at a cafe talking with a friend or at work speaking with a colleague. When you open your mouth, these words we practice today will come to you naturally. You won't even think about them. You'll just say, actually, I believe it's a great idea. Or, I'll probably do it tomorrow. Or, I'm really happy to be here. That is the true power of daily vocabulary. Let's finish with a little practice together. Say with me slowly, I'm learning new words every day and I'm getting better. Again, I'm building my vocabulary and I feel more confident. One more time, I use these words every day, and they help me sound natural. I'm so proud of you for staying with me through this whole lesson. Step by step, word by word, you are making your English stronger. And the best part is the more you practice, the easier it gets. So keep going, keep practicing, and keep using these words in your daily conversations. Remember, language is not something you learn only once. It's something you live, you feel, and you practice every day. Thank you for learning with me today. I'm Sarah, and I'll see you in the next lesson. Until then, keep smiling, keep practicing, and keep growing your English.